Hear ye, hear ye. All rise. The Honorable Judge M. Daddy presiding. You may be seated.
Order! Order! Order in the court! Son of a bitch. Order! Order in the goddamn court now! Damn it! All right, let's get on with this. We are gathered here today to pass judgment. The crime, you ask? The orchestration and carrying out of the complete fuckatizing of my birthday by you, Kaz.
Me?
Yes, you.
Shut up, man. Don't say anything.
Not only did you poison everyone that went to my birthday, you also ruined my one birthday wish.
That was bullshit, man.
You know what that wish was?
That.
To not be fucking poisoned on my birthday.
You did that.
It was a really simple wish. You know, I blew out the candles and I'm like, hope I don't get poisoned today. And here we are. Now that's not all. More than just you ruined my birthday. Now I'm looking at you, Fritzy.
What did I do?
You summoned a mass of crows, a cloud, a cluster, I don't know what it's called, a fuck of crows.
Murder.
Came down, destroyed everything, crapped everywhere, weather patterns changing. I don't know. You're like Storm and Beast Boy combined or some shit. I don't know, and I don't like it.
I already apologized on Twitter, man. I don't know what else.
But not to me.
All right.
I'm standing here the whole time.
Yes, Your Honor.
And then on top of all that, as if it wasn't enough for my birthday, Angela, just, you know, on the side for a little bit of a fun thing, makes a pact with the devil. And that kind of adds a little bit of a pallor to the party, I find.
All right. That's
you know,
rad.
unless you're going to a party at fucking Anton LaVey's place, which actually, guy has really good parties, I'm not going to lie. He really throws a good shindig.
Well, it's always good to have a lot of allies.
So you three conspired, worked together to fuck over my birthday, and you're here now to face up for it. How do you three plead?
Well, so
I mean,
this is
I really
huge
think this is
misunderstanding.
kind of ridiculous.
At this point,
Big.
Doesn't
we
really
are
ordering
matter.
the court part. Don't you
What
understand?
does
Listen,
religion
listen,
have anything to
we-
do with the
Shut
law?
up, Kaz,
Actually,
just
we
shut up.
are
Black
tied
feathers.
to
It's
stakes.
just the devil.
We're
Black
ti-
feathers,
the
wings,
devil.
and
You got
crows.
us
I hate
tied up.
all of you.
We're your friends. First of all, like, step outside of yourself. We're your fucking friends, dude. And you got us tied, hands behind our backs to stakes. The three of us in front of all the. Who are all these fucking people? Where did
People
you?
have come to judge you just like me. They're just not judges. They
You
don't
just
have the robes.
you just
They
know a
don't
bunch
have
of
the robes.
judgy ass people that are
God,
just
yeah.
willing to show up and judge, like in the middle of the fucking day. Like
It's called Twitter.
Yeah, all right.
The formality of this is ridiculous.
They showed up though in person.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
yeah.
can't fight that.
No.
It's like a flash mob, but, you know, of judgmental
But of
assholes.
judgment. Regardless, I think we should have the ability to state our case, right? Like you gave us the courthouse setting. You're not going to give us the courthouse experience. You're just going to what were you going to execute us? Burn us?
Burn you if you're lucky.
I don't
give
get to
him ideas,
what?
man.
We don't get
Jesus.
to like. No, I'm.
What are you doing?
Chill, dude.
Of course you get to plead your
But,
case.
I got it. I got
What's
it.
going on here?
I got it.
Where are you going with
I
it?
don't
I'm not
know.
going to give you a fucking lawyer, so you have to plead it yourself.
I wish I knew
We
him.
should be
I
allowed
Are you
to-
representing
we should be
me?
allowed to
I'm absolutely fine with that.
plead our defense.
I mean, I've already passed judgment, so you might as well talk for a little while if I got a few beers
Well, I'm
to finish.
tied to this thing. I look guilty as shit.
Oh,
Tied
God,
to
yeah,
the
you
thing.
do. Because you're tied to something. Only guilty people are tied
Exactly.
to shit. When's the last time you saw an innocent person tied to something?
When do you get the authority? Untie me. Get someone to untie me so that I can appropriately express myself during my defense. I got to
Right.
stroll around.
Courtroom ghoul! Courtroom ghoul! Release Kaz! Look at that little guy. Look at that little guy.
Fast.
Weird.
Yeah, that's amazing. I love
Yeah,
it.
no,
he
he
smells
got,
like
uh,
sulfur.
Yes.
He's new. We just got him, but he's really good.
He's
really
efficient.
good. Yeah, he
He's
is.
efficient. I'm free.
Thanks,
and
Ralph.
Oh, he
Okay.
curtsied. Wow.
I will curtsy back at you, Ralph. Thank you very
No,
much.
he didn't like that.
Oh, no.
Ralph?
You've offended
We'll
Ralph.
see. I don't give a fuck about Ralph.
Hey!
Come see me, Ralph.
You want time back up. Time back up, Ralph.
No.
Hey,
All
Ralph.
right, now, come on. Let's
He's ready.
move
He's
on.
ready.
You were
He's
the one
ready.
that had to subdue me to tie me. Ralph's not going to be able to do it. You're going to have,
Are you kidding?
You're going to have to get down off
He's
that
a
fucking
squirrely
judge's
little
bench and
bastard.
come get me.
You have no idea what you're fucking with. Okay, Ralph, off.
Take
off.
it easy,
Down.
Ralph.
Down, Ralph. Good Ralph. Good Ralph. Who's a pretty
He's
Ralph?
aggressive.
He's a pretty one.
That's just too much.
He's
He's
a
cute though when the
sweetheart.
ears go back.
I know.
It's
I
like
love
a
you,
French
Ralphie.
bulldog or something. There's just like, it's all head and jaw.
You guys are fucked up. That's really fucked up.
So anyway, and I'm nice and loose. I'm limber. I can, I feel like I can sort of stroll around. You ever see sort of like Al Pacino, the way he kind of works like a courtroom? Yeah.
Got his hands behind his back and everything. Just
I
like,
want to
ooh.
address these judgy ass people here today. I
Okay.
want to say,
Ease off. Ease off the aggressiveness.
Well, we got to make
You're
sure
very
that they
intense
understand.
right now.
I want to make sure that
Come on, do it, man.
this is an aggressive defense.
I guess you've never been in court before.
Exactly.
I'd like to say that this jury is a bunch of dicks. Okay, first of all.
All right, now I don't think the judge should be saying that to the jury.
I can
This
say what
sounds-
the fuck I
The
want.
judge is drinking beer.
That is also true.
And more than that.
Ladies and gentlemen of the court, I am innocent. I am an innocent man.
All right, Billy Joel.
Nice. Guilty of what? Guilty of attending a friend's birthday party. Guilty of showing up, providing support. Guilty of making him a cake by my grandmother's own recipe.
Yeah, that was the problem. That was a bit of a problem.
The problem was, it was too spicy. Was it not?
Because cakes aren't supposed to be spicy.
It's Chilean.
Who has a spicy cake?
It's Chilean spice cake.
No, it's a birthday cake.
You
No one says, I
are
can't wait to get
very
my
white.
spicy birthday cake.
Yeah, the entire
I'm
country of
intensely
Chile.
white.
Yeah.
Not proud of it. I just happen to be it.
Well, some
damn near
ca-
translucent, actually.
Some cakes are too spicy. It was supposed to help you.
Sweet.
By poisoning all my friends, and myself included. I happen to be my best friend.
My grandmother taught me how to make this thing. It's a delicious cake. If it didn't help your what we'll call your secret, issue with your bowels, like
secret issue. I'm quite upfront about it.
I wanted to make sure that your IBS was getting cleared up, and I gave you a spicy cake to get the fucking.
I don't
to get
have
the juices
IBS. I
flowing.
have FBS. I have furious bowel syndrome.
So, in addition to the spice cake, my grandmother taught me another helpful thing about this. I can detect witches, so I can tell you. First of all, I'm not a witch. I ran the detection magic on myself. I'm not a witch, but we
I'm
have.
going to trust you.
Why wouldn't you? I'm
That's
dramatically
why I have all these
pacing the
people to
courtroom
judge
in
you.
my defense. Well, and I'm convincing them that I know how to detect witches, and which I do because
Okay,
I'm not a
checks
witch,
out.
but I do sense 2 witches in the room.
Ooh.
2. No less than 2. Actually, there's a couple, and this is a weird feeling, but at least 2. And I know of 2. And they're very close.
How do you know that?
These 2 right here.
I knew it.
Yep.
Look
at 'em.
That explains
Wait, you're
it
talking
all.
about me?
Wow.
Yeah, that guy.
Perfect. And we got them tied up to stakes already.
They're
This
already
makes it
ready
so
to go.
convenient. This is like packed and ready to go.
So you
Oh,
almost got
Kaz.
all the witches, but I actually saw Angela talking to the devil.
That's what I hear.
It
That's
might
what-
have
that's
not
the
have been it was
consorting. I even hear.
the devil takes on many forms, right? So if
Phew.
I saw her talking to a pig, like, "Hey, how are you doing, Sally? You're doing okay," and it was clearly code for demonic translation of
whoa.
spells and evil things, right? Like she's talking to a pig. A
Angela,
human
what
can't
you
speak to a
Guys,
pig.
you
Messed
talk
up.
to animals. Don't you talk
She
to
was talking to a
cats?
cat. I saw exactly. See,
Everyone
she
talks
admitted
to
it.
animals.
She talks to cats. I
You
saw
talk to
her.
a cat and a pig?
Yes.
Talking to cat, fine. Talking to pig, that's just weird.
I saw her talking to a
Wait
bird.
a
I saw her
minute.
You
talking
don't
to a
talk to
dog.
breakfast.
That's terrible. But I
I
do
saw her
talk to
talking
my
to-
breakfast.
But also, yes.
I think it.
You so goddamn good, breakfast.
Man, you doing it today.
I've seen you consorting with a number of farm animals, domestic pets, things that normal people aren't able to communicate with, and you seem to be having full conversations with them. And you clearly have some sort of weird shit with the crows. You can do things with the crows. So you're a witch.
Oh.
You're both witches.
Yeah, that's totally some witch moves. Right there.
And I fucking give me the torch right now. I'll burn them both.
What?
Give it to me.
Yeah, it seems pretty
I'm
easy.
done with the witches, dude. I don't fuck with that witch shit.
Okay, yeah. I mean, I've never been a fan of witches. I mean, that's like an okay season of American Horror Story, but
That was the good one.
And that was kind of one of the good ones. But no,
Stevie
if
Nicks.
they're witches, we're going to burn them. I mean, they're on the stakes. It's like, just light them up. Let's get Ralph in here, get some gas, and we'll just get this
All
going
right,
on right now.
hold on.
What?
Obviously, chill out, right? Like,
What?
Dude. These are how long have you known these people? You're gonna burn them alive in the middle
They're
of just a
witches.
makeshift. They're not witches.
You just said they were witches.
When would I have said that?
Like less than a minute ago.
Fake news.
You son of a bitch.
I did not say they were witches. Clearly, you've never heard of Tituba, the first Salem witch.
I haven't, but
Obviously I
if this
haven't.
gets me scot-free, then let's do it.
Betty Paris and her friend Abigail Williams were, by all accounts, 2 relatively normal girls living in Salem, Massachusetts. They were both daughters of wealthy, slave-owning pieces of shit, and they lived as comfortably as anyone could in the 1690s. Like any young people living in a grim and mostly dreary existence in the 17th century, the girls came to be aware of an old divination method which required a glass cup, water, and an egg. It is not known where the girls learned of this seemingly exotic and definitely not Christian ritual. The girls reportedly called it a Venus cup, and they asked it how they could create a world where violence and the threat of physical harm or death could not be levied against another person to force them into submission.
Boring.
Nah, just kidding. They asked little girl shit. They asked little girl shit like who they were going to marry and if he was going to have ponies.
Did they play MASH?
What is MASH?
Where you like mansion apartment?
Oh, yeah.
And you do like the...
Is it the thing with the triangles where
Yep.
you do your fingers where you're like the paper thing?
Secret girl shit.
secret
right
girl
there,
stuff
man.
that you
The
tell the
secret
future?
girl numerology where they tell each
Yeah.
other's future in like
Witchcraft.
the fourth
That's
Yeah,
grade.
witchcraft.
it's hopscotch, all of it. Witchcraft.
Totally.
As the thin stream of egg white flowed into the glass, the image of a coffin, distinct and unchanging, took shape in the water. The girls scrambled back to their beds in horror, determined to forget and return to their comfortable lives. A few days later, Betty Paris, daughter of the slave-owning piece of shit, was taking a basket of onions to Tituba and John, her father's slaves. They were married. When she crashed violently to the floor in mid-stride, her mother, Tituba, and John rushed to help her, only to be frozen in place. Betty's back arched violently. She twisted her arms to unnatural angles. She flopped and yelled.
Sounds like strychnine.
She barked and growled like a dog, and when English words could escape her lips, she could only tell her would-be rescuers that she felt them pinching her everywhere.
Oh.
They rushed her inside, put her in bed, and awaited Dr. Griggs, the local physician, to take a look. Inexplicably, Abigail Williams, Betty's earlier confidant de seance,
Ooh.
Nice.
like
Is that
that.
French?
trademark Cas. No, that's a trademark Cas.
Oh, wow. All right.
The woman she was performing, the girl she was performing the Venus Cup with. Abigail was older. Abigail was 11 and Betty was 9 at the time
Okay,
of
gotcha.
the incident. Abigail was also struck with the same illness, and her family had to watch in horror as their daughter, now only 11 years old, writhed in unspeakable and untreatable pain. Upon full examination of both girls, Dr. Griggs concluded, and this is quoting from Rebecca Beatrice Brooks, Betty Paris, first afflicted girl of the Salem Witch Trials. In the latter end of the year 1691, Mr. Samuel Paris, pastor and church of the Salem village, had a daughter of 9 and a niece of about 11 years of age.
Jesus.
Sadly afflicted of they knew not what distempers, and he made his application to the physicians, yet still they grew worse. And at length one physician gave his opinion, that they were under an evil hand. This neighbor...
How do they know that? They
This is Dr. Griggs, dude.
Okay.
Like Salem,
Sorry.
Massachusetts, MD.
He knows what time it is.
Dude.
No disrespect, Dr. Griggs. I mean,
That
you
should
and
be
I,
a
I mean,
totally like a show.
Yeah.
Dr. Griggs, Salem, Massachusetts, MD.
under suspicion with Dr. Griggs.
That's also trademark. Under suspicion
bitch.
with Dr.
I
Griggs.
like that.
They were under an evil hand. This the neighbors quickly took up and concluded they were bewitched. He had also an Indian manservant and his wife, who afterward confessed that without the knowledge of their master or mistress, they had taken some of the afflicted person's urine and mixing it with meal had made a cake and baked it to find out the witch, as they said.
That's an acute, can we just say, that's an acute wording of manservant. That was a very,
Yeah.
he was a middle-aged Indian manservant.
Yeah.
It's like, okay.
That was a hard M on that manservant.
Yeah, okay.
Manservant.
Manservant.
Wait a minute. So there is a poisoned cake, you say?
Well, PPK.
PPK. Yeah.
Yellow cake.
Poisoned cake sounds familiar. Go on.
It's a Michael Jackson song. I want your loving, PYT.
PB Young cake.
Hey.
Pee-pee yum cake.
Yum cake.
Oh, yeah.
Yum cake. Oh, God.
That kind of alludes to why it's a yellow cake, too.
Yes, that's
Yeah.
right. It's really bad.
PPM cake, yellow cake.
I can never hear that song again. Ever.
After this, the afflicted person cried out of the Indian woman named Tituba that she did pinch, prick, and grievously torment them, and that they saw her here and there where nobody else could. Yet they could not tell where she was, and what she did went out of their humane sight. These children were bitten and pinched by invisible agents, their arms, necks, and backs turned this way and that, and returned back again. So as it was impossible for them to do to themselves, and beyond the power of any epileptic, and he spells it E-P-I-L-E-P-T-I-C-K, epileptic fits.
That's fine. That's fine.
It's Dr. Griggs, MD.
Yeah.
Beyond the power of any epileptic fits or natural disease to effect. Sometimes they were taken dumb, their mouth flopped, their throats choked, and their limbs racked and tormented so as might to move a heart of stone to sympathize with them, with bowels of compassion with them. Dr. Griggs was also a motherfucking beast of a poet, apparently. But his analysis included some shocking revelations. Tituba, a slave who had helped feed and care for Betty in the previous years, was being implicated in not only causing harm to the little girl, but worse, conspiring with some manner of demonic influence to carry out the deed.
Oh, I don't like that.
Devil's always getting his finger in everything, isn't he?
Why?
He's got big fingers.
Why is it never God? What happened to God in the classrooms?
The Pledge of Allegiance. So once the Pledge of Allegiance drops out, then no more Al Gore, then no more God, and then,
And then the frogs start turning gay!
Exactly. Then Alex Jones.
Sounds all right.
That's
more
like
Pledge of
Angela at
Allegiance.
DEFCON 5 when it's most people DEFCON 1.
Yeah, that's about right.
You're
Yep.
like, what's the big deal?
And we've begun.
And we've entered in-games.
The reports of Tituba's mastery of English at the time is contested. Some say she would have had a very heavy accent, but would have been fully capable of understanding, communicating, as she had regularly joined the family for prayer and Bible meetings in the meeting hall. The town meeting hall would serve a different purpose on this cold day, March 1st, 1692, as it was to be the site of the very first Salem witch trial. Along with Tituba, Sarah Good and Sarah Osborne. Sarah. So Sarah Good was a local mentally ill woman, and Sarah Osborne was a, let's call it, rival of one of the families of the girls that was being afflicted by this bewitchment.
Okay.
So these are two basically random townswomen that are also implicated with the slave Tituba as being the first Salem witches, the first three.
And they hate one another, right?
Yo,
They do not know one another. They are not aware. Tituba is a slave who has not really had a lot of interaction with people out in the town. I mean, you know, cursory, but she stays mostly on Samuel Parris's property.
Yeah.
And one of the women is sort of a mentally ill, fringe, I guess, you know, like a homeless person. And they implicate her as a witch, and then they also this woman who has some title in land and is a coincidentally a direct rival of one of the families of these little girls, the Putnams. It's another group of girls. Basically, there ends up being four of them. It's Betty Parris, Abigail Williams, Ann Putnam Jr., and then there was another one. And I like that there was Ann Putnam Jr. I'd never heard of a woman Jr. before, but I really like that.
That's true.
That's amazing.
Never heard of a woman junior.
The Putnam family had this dispute with the Osbornes, and they... Then all of a sudden, Sarah Osborne was a witch, and she was part of the first three Salem witches. Sarah Osborne and Sarah Good were accused by Betty Parris and Abigail Williams of bewitchmentization.
Which is, that's a legal term, I think.
That's absolutely
totally legal.
Yeah, it's like mea culpa, but...
It's a cromulent word.
That was the official charge. Both the Sarahs denied any involvement, and it should be noted here that there appeared to be a specific weight added to Tituba's testimony, that she was... the third to be questioned, but she was also, everybody was kind of like got their pens out and was like, okay, here we go. Here's the good stuff. There appeared to be an air of kind of pre-knowledge of the fact that this was going to be good, which should sort of key you in on what's going on here.
Yeah.
Tituba's questioning was framed differently. She was asked about the trump cake that Dr. Griggs mentioned earlier with the urine and rye. Tituba said that she made the cake and fed it to the dog so that the evil spirit inhabiting the girls would leave. The following is an excerpt of Tituba's questioning from the book Tituba, the Reluctant Witch of Salem.
Reluctant witch. Aww.
And a man named John Hawthorne was the inquisitor during this questioning. So
I
it
like
goes.
that. I'm taking that now. I'm an inquisitor.
Inquisitor? No,
Yes.
you don't get to do that.
I just
Chill.
did it.
This is
He's
my
the
defense.
goddamn judge.
He's cutting in on my
Yes.
defense. It's not cool. Objection.
Wait, who can
Overruled.
object to things? Wait a minute, this is out of hand.
Overruled. We'll get back to it.
John Hawthorne. Tituba, what evil spirit have you familiarity with? None. Why do you hurt these children? I do not hurt them. Who is it then? The devil, for aught I know.
Oh my.
Did you ever see the devil? The devil came to me and bid me serve him. Who have you seen? 4 women. Sometimes they hurt the children. Who were they? Goody Osborne and Sarah Good. And I don't know who the other were, but Sarah Good and Osborne would have hurt me and the children, but I would not say, for there was a tall man in Boston that she did see.
Oh.
When did you see them? Last night at Boston. What did they say to you when they hurt the children? And did you hurt them? No, there was 4 women and 1 man, and they hurt the children, and they all lay upon me, and they tell me if I will not hurt the children, they will hurt me. But did you not hurt them? Yes, but I will hurt them no more. Are you sorry that you did hurt them? Yes. Tituba went on into great detail in the manner and shape of the Sarah's demonic disguises, as well as those of the devil himself, quoting Stacy Schiff of the Smithsonian. She's seen a dog, a hog, a great black cat, a red cat, a yellow bird, and a hairy creature that walked on 2 legs.
That was me. I'm sorry.
Another animal had turned up too. She did not know what it was called, and she found it difficult to describe, but it had wings and 2 legs and a head like a woman. A canary accompanied her visitor.
Canary?
If she
Something
served
that evil had a freaking canary, not a bat or a vulture?
It sounds like the
one
velvet-
fish, 2 fish, and a red fish. Blue fish.
This is a very active hike.
I like it.
Finch.
If she served the black-coated man, she could have the bird. So it was like the velvet glove iron fist thing. Like,
Yeah,
you
right.
can either get the devil or you can get the canary. She implicated her 2 fellow suspects. One had appeared the night before with her cat. When the Paris family was at prayer, she had attempted bargain with Tituba, stopping her ears so that Tituba could not hear the scripture. The creature that she claimed to have so much trouble describing was none other than Sarah Osborne
Oh, really?
in the courtroom next to her. Yeah, she's basically like she's pointing out these women with saying she turned into a cat, she turned into a canary.
Damn.
She
What an
proved to be a
asshole.
brilliant raconteur. The more compelling for her simple declarative statements, the accent may have helped. She was utterly clear-minded and cogent, as one could have been in describing translucent cats. As she was expansive, hers is among the longest of all the Salem testimonies, having fielded no fewer than 39 queries on that Tuesday. Tituba proved equally obliging over the next few days. She admitted that she had pinched victims in various households. She had delivered on every one of Hawthorne's leading questions. If he mentioned a book, she could describe it. If he inquired after the devil's disguises, she could provide them.
Ooh.
That's crazy.
The weeks following Tituba's incendiary testimony, people with symptoms similar to Betty, Paris, and Abigail Williams began to show up. Witch, wizard, and warlock accusations began to dot the Massachusetts area, and a full-fledged hysteria was foaming. News reports published stories about coven sightings, shape-shifting human chimeras. In a sense, Tituba's testimony went viral and caused a panic that in 7 short months saw the lives of 19 innocent people snuffed out, as well as 200 other accused but not executed. Just had the shit beat out of them or kicked out of their homes, mild stuff.
Jesus Christ.
I mean, you're presuming innocence. They could have actually been witches.
Well, they were
They
accused.
could have been actual witches, so let's not pass judgment. That's up for me.
Tituba remained in jail during this time, likely unaware of the chaos she caused in the countryside surrounding her cell. She was brought out for a final trial 15 months later in the summer of 1693, where she was declared not guilty due to lack of evidence
Jesus Christ.
Wow.
and released to an unknown man
What?
for her
I'll take
jail
her. I'll
Wait
take
a
her.
minute. What?
for her jail fees and was never heard from again.
That's how that works.
Oh, thank God Kaz is here.
That's how that works.
Okay.
Tracked her down.
There's no one just randomly outside just trying to buy us, right? Of
course
No,
not.
I don't think so.
Okay, great.
Who would want to buy us?
I'll talk to you in a minute.
Betty Paris's little trifling ass moved to Sudbury, Mass., where she met shoemaker Benjamin Barron and had 4 children until finally dying in 1760. While the majority of those involved in the Salem witch trials were on record as being remorseful for their part in the insanity that racked those strange months, Betty Paris refused to apologize or even acknowledge her part to play in arguably one of the most haunting and enduring stories in our nation of allowing ignorance and fear to cloud our minds.
Wow. What cracks me up is the fact that they had remorse and everything. So, they're sitting back years later and go, yeah, that shit was crazy,
You
wasn't it?
look over at
That
Dave
was-
across the way,
Remember
like,
that
dude,
shit? Remember
I'm
That was
sorry.
a very intense time.
I know you're not a witch, man. Like that was just
nuts.
a weird. It was
I
a
don't-
weird summer. It was hot.
I mean,
It was a hot summer.
Things were going on. Didn't even know what was what. Yeah.
Mercury in retrograde.
Something like that. Oh.
Yeah.
I just
court
made
is-
the zipper over my lips and then I threw the zipper away, if you must know.
Yeah, I saw.
Fritz,
I saw. Hey, what are you guys doing? What are you guys doing?
This is
Hey,
I'm the defense.
you're in court. You can't just sit there and whisper. You
I'm
know?
the defense. I'd like a sidebar with my client.
Okay,
Shut up.
all right, I'll allow it because I need a drink.
Be
I love what's
easy.
going on
Be
here.
cool. And like stop talking because you're gonna get yourself executed. So I'm gonna go talk to him and I'm gonna get you cut loose. Okay? Be cool. Judge, I would like to request a sidebar with you, and
Yes.
I would like to tell you that I am now. Fritz agreed. I'm now his defense attorney, and
Okay.
our first act of discovery is for you to cut him loose.
How is that?
That's it's discovery. You got to cut him loose because then he can walk around with me.
Look, this is a sidebar and there's no drinks. I don't understand why they have the word bar in there.
We're
but,
whispering to each other on the side.
Okay, cut him loose. If it makes
Thank
this
you.
kangaroo court jump around some more.
Thank you. We got to set up our defense, and we got to reconvene. So can we get a short recess? Maybe give us like a short...
Right. All right. So you guys could take a little recess, I guess. Does that mean you like go out and play in monkey bars?
Slides.
I never figured that. Yeah, slides.
Oh, I
and stuff.
hope
Yeah.
so.
Unzip.
You
I
guys-
hope.
So you guys do whatever you need to do. I just want to know what the fuck is up with the crows and the weather, because that's not normal human shit, having crows and weather and being in control of them. So you better be able to explain that shit, or I'm lighting your ass up. All right, we're going to take a quick break. You're listening to Fort Fritz.
Order! Order!
Two over easy and some home fries, dearie. Thank you.
All right, order in the court. I got that. Okay, and those. Do you want the home fries like crispy or just? All right, let's get back into this. We got some defense going on because now we got both of y'all off your stakes. I don't understand why.
Ladies and gentlemen of the court,
Okay, just get into it, I guess.
before you stands a man, not a proud man, not a particularly bright man,
Damn right.
All right. Well,
not a man of great courage or conviction,
Yeah, we know this.
a man with relatively small feet and fingers.
okay.
Do you trust this guy?
You are kind of heavy-handing the fact that I'm dumb.
But how can he? It's a
I
small
mean-
feet and hands. He can't hand anything.
I've gotten us this far. You're untied. I'm getting us there. I'm making progress.
Go. I mean,
Take it easy.
Okay.
Angela,
yeah. No.
you keep... this is disparaging. I'm your defense team. I'm trying.
I don't believe this.
But he is a man nevertheless. And men, as we know them, are incapable of communicating with winds and birds.
That's what I thought. That's what I thought.
Okay. Okay. All right. Nope. This is not good timing.
That is
What?
extremely ominous.
That is
what
not
up?
good timing.
What?
Guys, what do you want from me? I
Who
don't
are you
have any
talking to?
peanuts.
Who are you talking to?
don't have
What
any
is that
peanuts
sound?
right
Oh
now.
my God, they're
What
all
is that
Jesus
sound?
Christ, what is that?
What's going on? Who the fuck is coming into my courtroom? Hey!
Guys, I don't have
It's taking me! It's taking me!
Check that pocket if you want.
Hey!
I'll take my shoes off for you.
Get him!
No, look.
It's raining now.
I don't have any. I'm sorry.
This is
I
what
don't have any
happens
peanuts.
when we let you
Okay,
build a
this-
bootleg-ass courthouse in the
You're
middle of
the bailiff.
fucking nowhere.
Has some trail mix.
Ralph, get in here. Tie this fucker back up, man.
Ralph has trail mix. Go get. There you go. Awesome. Yeah. Find it. Perfect.
Order! Order in the court! Look, even my gavel just broke into pieces! Order in the court! Just order in my damn court!
I mean, it's sunnier. Did you make the storm stop by smashing your gavel? Like, was that?
Yeah,
Are you
probably.
also a superhero?
There's a good chance.
so that you admit to being able to control the wind and
All right.
weather as well.
I do want to fess up here. Okay.
Okay.
Oh,
Okay.
I can call crows. Now it's not what you think. Okay. It's something simple. The crows want something from me. I want something from the crows. It's a mutual relationship.
What do
okay?
you want from the crows?
Yeah. What do they provide you?
We're peanut buddies. So
You're what?
What?
I will throw peanuts out. The crows like it. Crows eat it.
And
But what
bring
do you get out of it?
Yeah.
Them eating my peanuts, man. You know, it's like something as simple as watching a garden grow. Like, you know,
Do you have like an excess of peanuts that you just need to get rid of at any time?
I have so many peanuts. You have no idea how many peanuts I have.
I don't like that. That's weird.
It's a weird amount of peanuts.
A lot of times they tell me to fuck off. They don't appreciate what I have, but it's okay.
Do
no
they
one in my
actually
life
say
does.
those words to you? Are they speaking English to you? Or are they just like, fuck off, ah!
Do they spell it in peanuts?
It's nothing mystical, if that's what you mean.
Yeah.
It's just, you know, but the weather, on the other hand, I can't
we got off the crows pretty quick.
readily explain the weather without mentioning Agnes Sampson.
Who?
Have you guys heard of the North Berwick Witch Trials?
No.
I didn't want to do this.
Hey, Jay, you've been talking about it all day.
Lord knows I didn't. Thank you. Lord knows I didn't want to do this. I didn't want to say this, but the North Berwick Witch Trials actually influenced Billy Shakespeare to write Macbeth.
Oh.
Wait, what?
Yep.
What about Tempest? Wouldn't it be more appropriate if it was Tempest, I guess?
No, you're wrong.
Damn it.
I honestly don't know, but let me. Yes, I can remember it like it was yesterday. It's a bitterly cold November in the year 1589. James VI, King of Scotland, is sailing to Oslo, Norway to marry Princess Anne, sister of Christian IV, King of Denmark. So if you're already confused, that's okay. Anne of Denmark is originally on her way to Scotland to marry King James VI, but Her fleet is so badly battered by waves and storms, there's practically no way to continue. They have to stop in Norway. Some ships almost capsized, and that would have killed a bunch of people. So, King James VI, being the thirsty son of a bitch he is, heads out with an employ of 300 and figures he'll just marry Princess Anne right there in Denmark, because Norway was a Danish territory at the time. But on their return to Scotland many weeks later, they're also greeted by only the nastiest roiling seas, high winds, treacherous thunderstorms. This thing's crazy. Splashing at the masts of the ship.
How do we know how much time was between the two different voyages, like hers and his? Like, was it in the same couple months, or was it like within a year?
So King James started off in November 1589 to May 1st, 1590.
Okay, so yeah.
So it's a half year.
Yeah.
Wow.
They are again forced to hold up in Norway for multiple days. They're forced to spend several weeks there, actually, before they can even attempt another trip home back to Scotland. And because King James, at this point, is king shit of Fuck Mountain, there is a huge Danish fleet, like colors, flying, trumpeters, and they are making sure that these newlyweds get back to Scotland. I think I know why these storms want us dead, says the Danish admiral to King James. Get this. I insulted a high-ranking official in Copenhagen, and I bet his damned dirty wife cursed us. So naturally, a man blames a woman for something he can't understand, like something as crazy and trivial as the weather. A man is blaming a woman. Mm-hmm. But
and
this event ends up turning into the opening salvo of a wide-ranging witch hunt, including noble families and citizens alike. So, if a curse followed Princess Anne from Denmark, how do we end up with the North Berwick Witch Trials of Scotland?
you're supposed to tell us. That's why you have the sheet of paper.
Well,
It's on the sheet of paper.
Denmark, in the late 16th century, was head over heels with the ideas of black arts, and witches were really easy to pin it on.
Head over heels with the black arts.
I can see that.
They blamed everything. Literally, the weather.
Right.
They blamed everything on
Stub your toe, fucking goddamn witches and goblins every time tripping me.
Some kind of like international cabal of witches. Actually, between the years 1540 and 1693, those years are known as the Burning Years.
The Burning Years.
Does anyone want to take a guess as to why?
That's when they came up with Burning Man?
Because they burned a bunch of people.
Why?
Because they're witches.
Do you know how many people? Do you want to guess?
A bunch, evidently. You said that's
500.
500? That's a good guess.
204.
68.
The accusation of witchcraft led to the persecution and burning of over 1,300 women.
Oh my
Son of a
God.
bitch!
And some men. And this
Holy
is not
shit.
Just
even...
some.
What?
This is
Yeah, right?
not even... Like,
Holy shit.
Germany, Portugal, and Spain each burned 30,000.
Oh my
Yeah.
God.
And we talk about the Salem witch trials like
19.
they mean shit.
19.
Yeah.
19 dead, 200 accused, and then like, you know, like kind of like we said, kind of fucked
So
up.
there you go. Scotland.
No.
Scotland has something.
They know how to do the wish shit
yep.
over in Europe.
They got that on lock.
So when Princess Anne, of course, was coming from Denmark to Scotland, when her ship first encountered that terrible storm, they knew it had to be witchcraft.
Yeah.
There was no other way.
It's obvious.
Although the Danish Minister of Finance ended up being accused of not sufficiently equipping the ship to withstand any sort of violent storm. Now, this was November 1589. It was so badly equipped, it was going to capsize by any storm. Nevertheless, he made a local woman admit to damning the ship by conjuring small devils
Little ones.
in empty barrels,
Wait, what?
and then had them climb all the way up the keel of the ship and then summon a storm.
Wait a minute. Wait
Little
a minute.
gremlins. They got the gremlins in the barrels.
Summoned baby devils
Yes.
Baby devils.
in barrels.
Empty barrels.
Not only that, but
Artisanal devils.
the fucking
The barrels were fancy too.
Craft devils.
The Danish Minister of Finance made a local woman say she actually put devils into a barrel and caused the storm.
The fact that that they go witches first and then properly outfitted ship from the financier, like,
Yep.
was there like progression of blame? They're like, witches, goddamn witches, totally capsized it. Larry, did you actually put the stormproof shit on the boat, or was that like? No, I didn't do that. Goddamn witches got me again. Like, they
I kept
fucked up the
asking you.
paperwork.
You kept saying. I said, I don't know.
I'm looking out for witches. It's the burning years. What the fuck am I supposed to do?
So
Sell your own ship.
she was burned at the stake. The Minister of Finance, Restwell, and King James VI was intrigued and immediately ordered a review in Scotland to see how many people he could kill for the pretense of evil. So if Princess Anne was cursed in Denmark, there must have been people who cursed his ship in Scotland to get him from Norway back home, because they were met with terrible storms too.
Yeah.
So
Transitive property of witches.
That's the first time in this story where I said, okay, well, that's one country. Now we are comparing it to Scotland. And of course, this story takes place in Scotland. So that's when King James said, okay, hold up. If they could do that in Denmark, then I think they were witches against me. And of course, this was a very Christian-based, region at the time. So that brings us to the terribly sad story of Agnes Sampson. Agnes Sampson, how she became associated with the North Berwick Trials is shady, totally shady, but it revolves around a young servant woman named Gilly Duncan. Gilly Duncan had the best potions and tinctures so pure she can seemingly cure any disease, any whooping cough, any fever. But when her employer presses her as to whether or not she dabbles in witchcraft, because, witchcraft is known to be a healer's background.
Herbalists and all that.
That's also a standard interview question, right? Do you dabble in witchcraft?
I wouldn't say I dabble.
I'm more of a journeyman.
That's interesting, because that's exactly what Gilly said. She said, no, I do not dabble in witchcraft. She refuses.
Oh.
Absolutely not. But then her devil's mark is found on her neck.
Uh-oh.
Do you know what that is?
No.
I'm a little scared because I have one.
A devil or witch's mark is a blue or red scrape mark at the back of the neck, which denotes evil, of course. It's the last incantation. It's a ritualization from the satanic cult. So they find a birthmark.
Burn him!
They find a birthmark. As she's found out, Gilly immediately admits. She comes clean and says, well, here's the thing. Me and about 50 other people, we regularly meet in cemeteries. We dig up corpses.
Drink a little wine.
The decaying remains we tie to cats.
What?
We throw the cats into the ocean.
What?
No.
And we create one hell of a good time with bad weather. So they are digging up Christian rite burials and defouling them by tying them to cats and then killing the cats.
Whoa. Whatever she gets, she deserves.
Yeah.
Throwing cats in the ocean?
Yeah.
That's
terrible.
terrible.
She can burn her now. Burn
Well,
her twice.
Gilly Duncan points to Agnes Sampson. She's the eldest of the community. She is a midwife to much of the community, probably 90%. And herself, she's a healer. She is a person who goes door to door, sees how she can help the sick and the needy. Well, she's named as the eldest of the coven. So Agnes Sampson is taken to Holyrood Palace in Edinburgh. That's actually where the British monarch vacations, at least a week every year. And at first, she strictly denies any involvement, because of course. But if King James VI can find a purported devil's mark on her body, because this is now the pretense in Denmark, he can pretty much, without a shadow of a doubt, implicate her in this witch cover-up. Agnes can be very easily found out, and then the king can destroy her.
The cat killer? Good.
No, this is
the
a
cat thrower into the ocean. We don't know what happened to the cat. They're resourceful animals.
Well, Gilly Duncan was the one who said that they would.
Oh, Gilly. Okay.
Yeah.
Gilly.
So
okay.
Agnes Sampson is just she's implicated at this time. So the entire tribunal, which is overseen by King James VI, tortures her, but she says nothing. She admits to nothing. They then order her to strip bare in front of men and have all of her hair removed, shaved. all of it from her body, head to toe. They place a rope around her neck, tie it to the back of the wall, and they spread her legs wide open. And a group of strangers examines her bare, naked body. And there, near her privates, is a small mark, which can only be explained as a sign from the devil.
Yeah, thank you. It's so obvious.
That's where you get you.
Under an intense torture session, she readily agrees to admitting anything the authorities would want to hear from her. Obviously, I would do the same thing. If I'm already that violated. Okay, yes, I'm a fucking witch, right?
Yeah,
like, fuck off.
Make
Like,
the pain
Right.
stop.
yes, please. Yes, she was a witch. Yes, she can confirm. Yes, all others named by Duncan, yes, are in fact, yes, witches. Yes. King James VI is unimpressed, however. He says, there's no way. There's no way this person who has helped out this community could know anything about this. Something so fucking evil that she would want a stranger killed. The King of Scotland, no less, meeting his princess for the first time to be queen. There's no way. He adamantly refuses. He says, I do not accept this. And he does not believe her. So Agnes Sampson takes the king aside and verbatim, every word, every sentence spoken between Princess Anne and himself, King James VI, on their wedding altar, just a half year earlier, she speaks back to him in real time.
Interesting.
Princess Anne, do you take this? And then all of their vows in exact intimacy and secrecy that King James VI swears to God, huddles backwards and says, only the devil can possibly interfere so much in a mortal's life as to know so much information hundreds of miles away like that. She is now guilty as fuck. King James VI is forever scarred, and he says, take her to Castle Hill. Agnes Sampson is taken there. She is garroted, strangled, and burned at the stake alive for witchcraft. King James VI says to his deathbed, that was the most haunted moment of his entire life. He ends up writing the book Demonology in 1597, just 5 years after this, in which William Shakespeare bases his Macbeth play, which was first performed in 1606, just a couple years after. It was one of the last Shakespeare plays performed before he died, I think in 1616. To this day, the ghost of Agnes Sampson still haunts Holyrood Palace, the official residence of the British monarch in Edinburgh, Scotland. There she paces, there she roams, there she stands bald, naked, from head to toe, still trembling for all eternity, with the cursed devil's mark.
Wow.
You can only see the devil's mark if you really get in there.
And you gotta be really
nice.
nice.
She walks up to you naked, you're like, wait, hold on. Wait, okay, move your leg a little bit. Is that devil's mark right there?
Jeez.
Okay, so that's all well and good, but
Yeah, well,
so
I will hunt your family.
Well, hey,
Judge
whoa.
Mandaddy, I will hunt your family.
What do you mean by that?
I will tie guinea pigs to crows, and I will drop hamsters into laundry chutes, and your family will be cursed.
That sounds pretty messed up.
Bad.
Yeah,
There's
just
gonna
like
be gerbils in your laundry.
Yeah, that's kind of messed up.
You know, like, don't...
Guinea pigs are even larger.
Just don't accuse me of witchcraft, all right, bro?
Well, you just said you'd curse me. How am I not going to accuse you of being a witch when you just said you're going to curse me?
Just be cool, bro.
Kind of what witches do. So
Actually, Cass, hold on.
Wait, what? Okay, great. You're going to have another little talky talk?
You're doing a really good job at this, actually. Like, it's meandering.
I mean, that was
I
cool.
mean, it was a good story, but it really didn't help your case at all.
I feel like he totally did. Come on, he's not a witch. Look at him. Look at him.
Come on,
Is he a
look at-
That's
witch?
a pretty sad looking witch, but it still looks witchy to me. I don't know. It still looks witchish, witch like.
He's unconvinced.
Witch
Come on.
adjacent.
We did a
maybe.
good job. Listen,
Thank you.
he's
Well,
on the
I
fence.
got that.
We're leaning him towards our way. I think all we need to do, we need to get Angela loose, and then we can just get the fuck out of here because I'm done
All
with
right.
this stupid
Okay.
courtrouse shit.
Yeah. Okay,
It doesn't
so-
make any sense.
I
He doesn't
can
even have the law and
totally- I
order,
can
guys.
totally
Like,
hear you.
Ice-T's not here.
Angela,
I can call Ice-T right
Angela
now.
is still staring at Judge Mandaddy.
Yeah, she's been staring at me the whole time,
What
and I'm a little
Angela.
freaked out.
Wait, hold on. Angela. Angela.
Let us.
Angela.
We're gonna help you.
Angela.
Please.
Angela.
She's just dead-eye locked on me. This is
Right in
kind
front
of
her
fucked
face.
up.
She's not doing anything.
We need help if we're gonna help
mean,
you. You gotta tell us.
I'm
what's
a judge,
going
and
on.
I feel like I'm being judged right now.
All right. You know what? I'm going to. Okay.
Wait, you're just making you're taking control now, buddy?
Judge Mandaddy. I'm
Yes.
sorry. Do you mind if I have just a quick sidebar?
Have another fucking sidebar. Sure, go ahead. Knock yourself out.
Salad.
I would like to join the legal team of Spicy Cake and Crow Peanut Buddy Esquire.
Spicy cake and peanut butter, buddy? What?
Yep. It's going to be Spicy Cake, right, Kaz?
Yep.
I'm going to be
I'm the spicy cake guy.
Crow Peanut Buddy.
Crow peanuts.
Crow peanut butter. So
he
you're just
speaks in
basically mocking what I have you on trial for right now by making up little funny nicknames for yourselves?
It's not a funny nickname. It's the name of our law firm.
Oh, man.
Just say
Yeah,
yes.
yeah, yeah.
Just
Just
say
say
yes.
Yes, okay, yes. It's making my brain hurt, man.
Yeah! That's right!
All right, cool.
Okay, so-
Angela, we're going to get you out. Just
Yeah, we
continue
still...
locking eyes with them.
Okay,
it's
so
really
we're-
working. It's working.
Now, okay, so
Our latest case, baby.
we're getting past
right.
the fact that I've been
Hey,
poisoned
I'm
by
already
cake.
one done.
People versus Angela right
I
now.
got one person like
right.
from culprit onto the defense team of another fucking case in the same day. I don't know that you've ever seen some lawyer shit like that before in your life.
Right.
What you know about that?
All right. Look, we got to get some semblance of order in the court. That's the whole thing the judge is saying. I've been saying the whole time.
No
So
order.
we're getting past the whole spicy cake thing that made me poisoned. We're getting past the whole weather witch crow thing, I guess. But still a damn deal with the devil, Angela.
Crow Peanut Buddy.
Peanut buddy, whatever. Damn, Angela, you and the devil, what is it with you? I've been seeing you convorting with the devil. I'm seeing Windows updates happening. I mean, there's all types of things going on. What do you have to say for yourself?
Whatever. I got nothing to say to you.
What?
I'm done with this shit. I'm over it. Let's take a recess. Let's go. Let's get out of here. Recess!
You can't call Reese.
You guys have been calling everything this whole time. I don't care. Recess!
Shit. Okay,
We're done.
Okay, go to recess. Go to
I'm
recess
gonna
really quick.
swing on a
Go-
swing.
Everyone gets to just kind of call whatever they want. Yeah, it
Go
hasn't
to recess
been,
really
too
quick.
much.
She's scaring me.
This is Fort Fritz.
Son of a bitch.
Order! Pipe down, you cucks.
All right, I'm trying to bang this gavel, but it's just a shred. It's just okay. Everybody's do the. Just shut up.
You can
just
do
shut
it.
up. I don't
Okay.
have a fucking gavel. Shut up.
You're furious.
I don't have a roof. I don't have a gavel. My court sucks.
It does. You don't have a case.
I don't know. Well, I got a case, buddy. I got a case against you. I got a case against you, and she's still
Why you
tied up.
pointing at
Yeah, because look at you. But she's still tied up, and she's going to stay that way. The devil consorting witch.
Wow.
This is all too much, I think. I mean, we didn't ask to be brought to this kangaroo trial to
That's how trials work. No one says, "Hey, could you put me on trial, please?"
Well, I mean, I didn't ask for it. I'm just letting you know.
Strike that
Yeah.
from the record, please.
Overruled.
Thank
Objection.
God. No. He already
Sustained.
overruled it.
You guys are just
Kaz,
saying,
please.
Did I not do that
terms.
right?
I don't know. Is that does it?
Mea culpa.
Parliamentary inquiry, Honorable MD.
Sure.
Ladies and gentlemen of the jury and of this honorable trial, let me ask you this. What even is a witch? I mean,
Right up there.
is that something that's conjured in the deep recesses of the mind? Is it a way of us coping with our internal being? Is it a way of us negotiating our light with our dark?
No, it's none of those things.
Is it a way of comparing our square roots with our cubes
It's
You
math.
know what?
It's math.
and our
Do it,
additions
motherfucker.
with
What?
our
Do it.
Oh, you
Oh,
confess.
please don't.
Are you scared?
Oh, I'm not scared. I'm not scared. Why? You're scared. Look at you. You're all scared.
If you're gonna fucking do it, do
Yeah.
it.
Okay.
Fucking do it. I'm not going to confess anything.
Wow, it's not
Do
as
it.
fun when they want you to do it.
I was going to say, I don't know that I've ever
You
seen
have
that.
no authority here.
Hey,
that's
bullshit!
right.
This is my court. Even though I don't have a gavel or a roof, it's still my court.
Sustained.
Sustained.
Thank you.
Wow, that actually
That,
works.
that makes no sense.
I know, but I just followed
Further
along with
proves
it.
you have no control
I
in this
picked the wrong
arena.
word. I'm so sorry.
All right, I think we should just light her up. I guess. I mean, it's not as
Oh, no.
fun if they're like telling you to do it.
No,
I
God,
mean,
no! Don't do that.
Angela, why are you doing? You like this is a completely unorthodox defense strategy. I've never heard of the taunt the judge into executing you defense. This
Look
is
at her.
a
She's
completely-
lifting weights.
I don't care.
Yeah.
I don't care what you guys think. If you guys really want to burn me, go ahead and burn me.
We're trying to say no, like get you away from the burning. We're
Trying
trying
to
to
save
stop
your ass
this.
right now. What are you doing?
Burning me, you're not going to like execute me first. Just burn me.
That's the method of the execution. The burning. You start with the burn, and the execution just kind of happens while you're burning.
That's not true. Have you guys ever heard of Malin Mattsdotter? There's not much known about the early life of Malin Mattsdotter. She was born in 1613, and history remembers her as a Swedish witch of Finnish descent. She married a man named Erik Nilsson, who manufactured nails and other metal products, and together they had 2 daughters, Anna and Maria.
Beautiful names.
Sadly, in 1668, her husband Erik was executed for having intercourse with a cow.
Whoa!
Buggery. Straight buggery.
Wait, against the cow's wishes?
I don't know if the cow gave consent.
Yeah,
Cow cannot give consent. Cow cannot give human consent. Cow can give cow consent.
The hell you say?
Dude.
Their eldest daughter, Anna, had been the one to report him. And she did so because the sisters had been brought home after having run away. And they ran away because of the beatings of their father, after which their father ordered their mother to beat them again.
Jesus Christ.
During the beating, Anna reportedly said to her father, "God knows mother beats, and you beat, and I shall no longer remain silent. Such a sin you have committed, all the time standing on a chair over a black cow like a rooster over a hen."
Oh!
Burn. Dad burn.
As you
sick
can
line.
see,
Oh, word, Dad?
her daughters are pretty intense.
Mhm.
Malin Mattsdotter remarried a man by the name of Anders Andresen. Her daughters left home again, stating the frequent arguments between her and her new spouse as the reason. In July of 1676, Malin Mattsdotter was reported for witchcraft by her 19-year-old daughter Maria. But in this case, there was no sorcery involved. Instead, her daughters charged that she abducted her own children and took them to the Witches' Sabbath of Satan in Blockula, a legendary meadow where the devil had held his earthly court during Witches' Sabbath.
Would this be the same thing as a mother bringing her offspring to church? But this was a church that was not like universally agreed upon by the community. It was something that was nefarious and evil.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Like
Yeah.
a woods church.
I mean, basically,
If it was a
like
thing.
a Sabbath is like kind of you're meeting in the middle of the woods or
Right.
a meadow to meet with the devil.
So-
It's usually like an annual
okay.
thing. Please note that in court she's referred to by the name as Rumper Malin, which the word Rumper, they're not really sure what that means, but it's similar to the term Rumpax, which means stupid. So they called her Rumper Malin, so like maybe like Joker Malin, stupid Malin.
The court recognizes stupid Malin.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks everyone.
Yeah.
Not a leading
This is
name at
going
all.
well.
Also, very bold to call a witch stupid. A supposed
right?
witch.
In court against guilty Steve.
She just stands up and she goes, "Judge, could I have that stricken from the record?
Sure thing, stupid Malin.
Stenographer, could I have that?" No, I can't.
That's just doing the neck.
Stupid
No.
Malin
No,
says
Stupid
to strike
Malin.
this from the gun.
It's already happened. Maria's report stated, the true daughter of Rumper Malin, Maria, age 19, were called upon and confessed that she had the same night been abducted by Anne wife of Staffen, to whom she had been lost at games by her mother. Last Easter evening, her mother allegedly said to her, "My daughter, do you wish to follow me and we will make people out of you?"
Make more than one?
Thereafter, she began to take her every night to Blockula, the second time upon a man. Confessed aside that her mother had always had a bad language, cursed and ugly words, particularly on great holy days.
She used a foul mouth. She had a mom with a foul mouth.
Merry fucking Christmas.
Stupid Malin. Stupid Malin. Her daughter Maria testified that Malin took both her and several other children to Satan in Blockula, and that Satan himself, quote-unquote, the mean one, appeared in court long and black with horns, standing by her mother, holding her skirt, whispered in her ear, never to confess. Again, the Witches' Sabbath of Blockula is the meadow where they took children to meet with the devil.
How do you spell that?
Blockula.
Blockula.
Like a
Blockula.
block who drains the blood of other blocks.
So Maria was basically saying that the devil was in court, whispering in their ears, and whispering to Malin to confess. Malin was ordered by the court to fall on her knees and pray to be able to confess. And after having obeyed, her daughter stated that she could no longer see the devil.
Oh, well. Interesting.
That was easy.
Convenient.
Very convenient. Maria's older daughter, Anna, supported her sister's testimony that their mother took them to Satan. The court asked Maria if she was trying to have her mother executed in order to inherit the house. So they were trying to call her out, like, are you just like doing this because you want her mom's house?
After this, or is that like not
like,
a thing?
that's a totally different thing. We could go about this a different way.
Yeah. What would really suck is like they honestly didn't know, and they were like, wait, what's going on with the house?
Yeah.
It just comes up in court. Wait, you get the house?
You had it appraised? What is it? But Maria denied it. And strangely enough, Malin's husband is not mentioned much during the trial and was never called to testify. They only listened to the daughters. Malin was questioned regarding her religion. When asked to recite the creed, she answered that she did not know the Lord's Prayer. Needless to say, it was considered quite suspicious for a person accused of consorting with the devil to have difficulty reading and pronouncing words from the Holy Scripture.
How convenient.
I will say that she was Finnish, and they were giving her to
The
read
Swedish test?
Yes.
That's fucking rude.
Yeah.
So what would they would give her Finnish? Is it Finnish is the language?
I don't know if you would say, was it
It's
Finnish?
Finnish.
Is that what they
That was
they
your,
would
that was your,
Swedish.
that's your racist Swedish voice too, though. What's the difference between the Swedish?
It's
and
a
the
load of alcohol.
Oh, there it was.
I'll let you finish.
Oh, got him.
That was so good.
So what language did they give to her?
Swedish.
To read Swedish.
And she just happened to not know that.
She was stumbling over and she didn't really know it, and they handed it to her to read, and she
It's
couldn't.
kind of like it might be like difference with Spanish and Portuguese. How
Correct.
They kind of cross over, but they can get really confusing.
Correct.
But they are both officially recognized as of right now, Finnish and Swedish. So
They
I
are
would recognize
distinct
them.
languages, though, two different ones. So the fact that
Recognized
she was
by
of
Finland.
Finnish descent
Yes.
would be of note, because then maybe she wasn't able to read the thing
Also, why they probably called her stupid.
Yeah.
because she couldn't read the bullshit
Yeah.
Swedish language.
Now who's racist against Swedes? Am I right?
I didn't do the voice.
Wow.
still racist.
Malin was sentenced to be burned alive because of her refusal to plead guilty, despite the torture she was exposed to.
Good for her.
Stick to your guns.
This caused a debate among the authorities, as this method of execution was very uncommon in Sweden. Though several crimes stated public burning, this actually meant that the condemned be executed and burned.
Jesus Christ.
Which
so
meant-
like shot at while they're on fire?
No,
Trying to-
killed, and then they just burn the body publicly.
So you don't have to go through the being burned alive part.
Yeah.
Oh,
Correct.
They kill you
okay.
in a slightly less painful way.
Exactly. So they were either decapitated or death by hanging.
Is this the part where I shouldn't say, man, what a humanitarian culture to kill you before they burn your body
Yeah,
publicly?
it's right neighborly. It's
There's a
right
little-
neighborly.
It's a little bit of like
I feel
I
like
mean,
it's
I
more
think-
personal. It's like, I don't want to hear him scream all day. Like, let's just
really
strangle him
horrifying,
first.
yeah.
and
More
then-
about convenience. It's really,
Right. I want to see him burn. I just don't want to hear it.
Yeah, the sound is just like, it's unsettling.
If either of us were in this situation, I would want the bullet first before being
Oh,
burned.
yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Spoilers. It's the Mance Raider.
It's true. The method of burning The method of burning someone still alive is only known to have been used in the country a few times before, and the verdict was therefore controversial. One suggestion was that at the place of execution, she would be given a last chance to confess her sin. If she did so, she would be decapitated before she was burned.
Well, that's nice.
The clerical commissioner, Carolinus, stated in his vote that the honor of God was more important than Malin's personal experience of pain. She was instead to have a bag of gunpowder secured around her neck to make her death quicker.
Whoa!
okay.
So they light her up and goes, it's like 4th of July, man.
That's
Pretty insane.
Wow.
Yeah,
and
that's-
really irresponsible because you're going to get a lot of her on everybody at that point. You know, you're going to be spreading fire and flesh like all over the crowd. It's going to be like Gallagher in hell.
Yes.
well, I mean, they can always take measures to contain it, but yes,
In the
that's
hell.
Ponchos.
Ponchos.
Witch ponchos.
they have
Get out your witch ponchos. It's going to
Be a
good
messy one. All right, that was fucked up.
so
I feel
they
bad about that
have
one.
a potential bullet like tied around her neck as she is being
Yeah.
set on fire.
Exactly. Like a charge, like a big bullet.
The execution was carried out in the square of Hotorget in Stockholm on the 5th of August, 1676. Malin Mattsdotter was described by witnesses as proud and firm, received the gunpowder with a smile, and climbed up the stake showing no fear.
Fuck yeah.
Talked calmly to the executioner, and let him chain her by her hands and her feet without fighting back. She talked back to the priests with her head held high when they pleaded with her to acknowledge her sin. Standing at the stake, she once again stated her innocence. When one of her daughters, who were the ones who had accused her of witchcraft, called out from the audience for her to admit her crimes to save her soul, she gave her daughter into the hands of the devil and cursed her for eternity.
Ooh, yes.
After this, the fire was lit. And let it be known that she didn't even say goodbye to her daughters.
Yeah, fuck them.
Fuck them.
She didn't
Fuck
shake hands
everything.
or hug them. She literally just stood up there, maintained her innocence, and was just lit up.
Wow.
And fucking burned to death, right?
Yes.
Yeah, burned for a little while and then went boom.
It is said that she died with no pain and without screaming. I mean, how could you if your head's just blown off?
Yeah, it's all right.
immediately?
You're not allowed to screaming when you have no head.
Which was taken as another proof of her guilt. As it was believed
Look, she's got no head.
As it was believed that witches could not feel pain.
Ah.
That same year, so the 1676, a national witch hunt raged through Sweden, resulting in the establishment of witch commissions around the nation and execution of about 280 people accused of abducting children to the witches' Sabbath of Satan in Blockula, and often judged upon the testimonies of children.
Oh, that's always a good idea.
Disgusting little beasts.
Witch children.
Children in general.
That's right there
Nice,
with you.
nice.
Right there
Yeah.
with you.
In 1677, all the priests of the country were ordered to tell their congregations that the witches had now been expelled from the country forever to avoid further witch trials. This ended the Great Swedish Witch Hunt of 1668 through 76. Though there were accusations after this, few people were executed for sorcery after the year of 1676. The last execution for witchcraft took place in 1704 when Anna Eriksdotter was decapitated, the last person to be executed for sorcery in Sweden. So all I'm saying is, I'll go out in flames.
Pretty ballsy.
Yeah,
Pretty ballsy. I kind of respect that.
thank you.
You know, part of me thinks that, you know, you may be innocent. The other part is like, well, fuck, if you're going to burn someone that's such a badass, burn that badass. I mean, you don't get that opportunity a lot. What I'm saying, as a judge, I've got to burn a lot of people, and they're always like, no, don't burn me, it's going to hurt. And to have someone that finally, like, burn me is like, I kind of want to see this happen. This is kind of unique. Oh, okay. What is this? What is this? What are you handing me? Is this some sort of note? Okay. I declare the case of
Who gave him the
people
note?
versus Angela
She's
a
still
mistrial
there. She's kinda
due
like-
to
Or it?
negligent
What is this?
incompetence.
That hooded
I rule against the defense.
Jawa?
What did he say?
What? Hey, hold on. You can't just make me say things and then now that's a ruling. That's bullshit.
Did he just call it a mistrial?
No, that's
Who is he-
bullshit. No, it doesn't work that way.
He
It does
declared
not
a
work that
mistrial.
way.
Why is he looking at Angela?
I'm sorry. I'm still going to burn her. That's bullshit.
Honorable Judge MD, please, one more time. I'm sorry. I could not hear you. I'm so sorry.
You
Please, one more
declared
time.
something. What did you
What'd you
declare?
say?
What did you declare?
No,
I'm
it just,
so sorry.
no, you just know. It just says that I declare the case of People versus Angela a mistrial due to negligent incompetence. I rule against the defense.
Yes.
Wait, no, you can't make me do that again. That doesn't work.
Said
That's
it.
messed
Exactly how it
up.
works.
On the record.
What the fuck,
What
man?
is the stenographer
This-
doing? What,
Writing that down?
why is she typing so fast?
What she does.
Court
I
stenographer,
don't understand. But,
recite the minutes back to me.
Yes, let's hear this. Again.
He said, I declare the case of People
Oh my
versus
God.
Angela a mistrial due to negligent incompetence. I rule against the defense.
Sounds the voice is slathered in like poison and some type of viscous.
This is messed up. I don't
Terrible.
understand what's
That was
going on here.
chilling.
why is she getting her handcuffs removed?
Wait, why is
Yeah.
that? Who is that? Who's the?
Judge
What's
MD.
going
Well,
on?
that's the
I
stenographer.
implore
Wait.
you, Judge MD. No,
Wait,
you have
that
to
looks
get
like
her
okay.
back
That
in
looks
her-
like a witch. Now
I'm
that
out.
looks like a
She's-
witch.
I'm out!
Oh, she's gone.
Fuck. Okay,
Jesus
great. We
Christ.
got Angela and a witch dealing together, and they've already dealt with Satan, so this is going
No,
to
it
go
was
around
a,
really
it was
well.
like a.
Bye.
It was.
I'm
you're
done.
calling
Can we
it a witch?
retroactively burn her or something? That's bullshit. God. Okay, great. This is great. This turned out great. My court is now a complete fucking sham. This is awesome. This is so awesome. My birthday sucked, and now my big old court dealie sucked. This is fucking great.
This is what got you in the fucking pickle in the first place. Is you're negative, man, and you always have
Bullshit.
these negative ass
No,
fucking
you are.
attitudes.
No, you are.
right?
Yeah, you are. No,
Look at
yeah,
the
for
bright
sure.
side.
What?
We got this open air weird venue.
Can we do like a kegger or something? Would that make you feel
Exactly.
better?
See, this man knows what he's talking about.
You
We
have
got
just
people-
turned this day around, my friend. You have
Hey,
just turned-
Crows! Hey, Crows! Come on!
Oh my God, the Crows have Coors Light party
Yeah,
balls.
I'm calling it.
I didn't think
Hell,
they even made those
you
anymore.
Bet your ass I'm calling it a favor.
This is a
Don't you
dangerous
even-
situation for them to be
Don't you
raining
even-
Coors Light party
No,
balls.
no,
from
it's
the
not.
sky.
It's awesome. It's raining
There we go.
cars. Hallelujah. It's a raining cars. This is awesome. I'm really digging this.
Semaphore.
Wow, he's really got this. Look, they're doing like patterns in the air
Watch it.
now.
Time it. 5, 4. That's perfect. There
Oh,
you go.
that was really, that's
that's-
amazing. That's a lot of,
I love
that's a
it.
lot of beer.
Tap?
Okay.
Can we get him to bring us a tap, or is that no tap?
I
It's
guess
gonna take-
we gotta drink directly
Stab
from the
the
keg.
side of it with the gavel pen.
Just chew into it like
Well,
a
that-
vampire.
I'll be honest. That team's 2 hours off still.
Oh, geez.
They won't.
shit.
Yeah, they won't
Tap
be
for
here
2 hours.
until
Well,
early morning.
we did just let Angela just walk into the
Yeah,
woods.
should we go
With
after
a witch?
her? I mean, now we have a keg.
Two
I'll be honest, I
situations
thought
seem
we
like
would win.
very different, right?
thought
Like
we'd
we
win.
go into the woods, or we stay here with the keg, and one of those sounds very delightful.
The keg.
The keg.
We stay with the beer. We stay with
She's
the beer.
she's fine, right? Like she doesn't.
Yeah,
she knows
she's
what
with
she's
a
doing.
crazy evil witch,
and she's also like she's got powers, like she
Yeah,
knows.
She's looking forward to be burned. I mean, what's going to go wrong? All right, well, fuck it. I guess I'm no longer a judge. I guess I'm just going to be a guy drinking beer, going back to
Like
my
every
Hollywood,
other
you know?
day.
That's what I want to do.
Yeah.
We got open air, a bunch of crows, some other judgy fucking assholes hanging out that joined us on Twitter, and so I guess we're just going to get drunk, have a good time. All right, well, that's Fort Fritz. Thank you all very much for listening. I hope you had a great time. Remember to listen to us on all the different platforms. We're on YouTube. We're on Facebook at Fort Fritz. We're on Twitter, Fort Fritz MCT. You can find us on Instagram somehow. Who knows?
If you find us on Instagram, let us know.
Yeah, iTunes, Spotify even. You could just stream the fuck out of us anywhere you want. Tell your friends, tell people you don't even like, and tell them to listen, like you are right now, to Fort Fritz.
Okay, what do you think? Did that work?
Oh, that was
think
good.
that worked? Do you think you got it?
Very,
think that's good?
very good job.
No? All right,
it.
all right.
Loved
I
it.
think that worked pretty well. I think we got them. No, that was
Beautiful
really good. That was
girl.
really good. I loved it. That whole thing was fantastic.
Spectacular.
Well done.
Loved every minute of what you did tonight.
Don't compliment her too much.
No, it was wonderful.
Not
Don't
great.
downplay yourself. That
They're
was
not
absolutely
geniuses.
yes,
You can get
queen.
anything by them. It's not really a big deal. I just, it was like, but it worked. Okay, like calm
No,
down.
I'm not going to calm down.
All
That
right,
was
we're
absolutely
good?
everything I was
We're all
looking for.
good.
Everything all night tonight. Now you did it. It was wonderful.